We begin with breaking news out of London, where there's more drama coming out of the House of Commons. Yet another lawmaker from the UK's ruling party has defected to the opposition, wiping out the government's majority in Parliament. So what does this mean for British Prime Minister Boris Johnson and his plans for Brexit? Good thing we have our correspondent Richard Bestick on the ground for us in London. So Richard, wow, drama, drama, drama. This time some big news. What now?
Philip Lee, he's a long-standing MP, elected in 2010, so he's been inside the House there for 9 years, but his life has been committed to this party. His vote would probably have gone against the government in that critical vote that they're having later on to make illegal a no-deal Brexit. But it is perhaps, Erica, indicative of the damage done, that Brexit is really tearing at the fabric of Britain's political establishment. He's departed to the ranks of one of the opposition parties in Parliament. He's the fourth MP to quit the Tories. Indeed, earlier there were two former ministers who announced that they wouldn't be standing if there was a general election coming up soon. One of them said that the ruling Conservative Party, once a broad church of political ideas, was now simply the Brexit Party, with a narrow membership and a narrow world view. So that the test that there is now on the parties in Parliament is actually whether they can stand up to the storm that is Brexit.
So, Richard, what about legislation to block a no-deal Brexit? What's the progress on that?
Well, they're back just a few hours, but I can tell you the temperature inside the House, the excitement, the emotions are as high as they are outside. You can hear the protesters in the background there, Erica, making their views known. Later, around about 10 o'clock tonight, MPs will be voting on whether to make illegal the idea from Boris Johnson and his Brexit government that they should actually depart the European Union without any kind of trade arrangements whatsoever, so-called no-deal Brexit. Johnson, earlier in Parliament today, said that that is something, and he anticipates he'll lose, that is something he would never accept. Have a listen to him and the emotion inside the House as well as outside.
Turned from the G7 with real momentum in the Brexit discussions. I want to return from next month's European Council in a similar way, with a deal that this House can debate and scrutinise and endorse in time for our departure on October the 31st. But, Mr. Speaker, there is one step that would jeopardise all the progress that we have made in the G7 and around the capitals of Europe. And that is if this House were to decide that it was simply impossible for us to leave without a deal, and to make that step illegal, to force us, that's what they want, to undermine our negotiation, to force us, that's what they want, to force us to beg for yet another pointless delay. If that happens, all the progress that we have been making will have been for nothing.
Well, Erica, Boris Johnson said that to do that would be running up the white flag, admitting defeat. He would never do it, he said. Now, you heard there that he didn't actually say he wanted a general election. In fact, he says he doesn't want a general election. But if later this evening Parliament decides a no-deal Brexit would be illegal, he'll have no choice but to call a general election. Funnily enough, it's not that simple. As with everything in Brexit, he may not get his wish. The Parliament, while voting to outlaw no-deal Brexit, might actually also forbid the government from going for a general election. It's changing by the hour here, but we do feel like we're into the end game. The next 48 hours will dictate a good deal about where Britain's going, where the people of Britain are going, and where the British economy is going for decades to come.
Wow, Richard, changing by the hour, indeed. Thank you so much. Reporting live for us from London.